You're listening to The Fully Booked Therapist with Heather Hommel. This is the business coaching show for hands-on therapists who are done under-earning and ready to build a practice that pays them more than enough. Real conversations, real results, your real life. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Fully Booked Therapist podcast. Today, I am joined by one of my clients, Shauna Fox Hamilton. Shauna is the owner of the Rooted OT in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I have been trying to get her on this podcast literally for the past year. So I finally tracked her down, kidnapped her, and here we are. Shauna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Here we are. Finally made it.
Here we are. I just removed the sack over her head, and she's ready to tell her.
Still alive, everyone. We're good.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your business and how it came to be?
Yeah. So I'm an occupational therapist, and I have been for 16 years, a little over 16 years. And Rooted started, I don't even know where to go. I burned out as an OT I worked primarily in pediatrics for 13 years. And then at that point, I was totally burned out. Always kind of knew that I maybe wanted to start something on my own, but never knew what it would be. And to be honest, I really didn't know what MFR was. And then, fast forward to discovering what MFR is, went to a couple seminars, started to work on it with kids where I was at, and then started Rooted over 2 years ago. Awesome. And here we are full time.
Okay. So did you start coaching before you started your practice or as you were starting it? How did that fall in?
When I started Rooted, I was not a client of yours yet. About 10 months in is when I started coaching with you. I'd kind of just pieced together like some random like OT and PT coaching, just kind of purchased things here and there, purchased a book. Most of my like general business stuff, like the LLC, my bank accounts, all of that figured out. And then I was just kind of doing it on the side. And then in December, it would have been December 2024, I think, or 25. I don't remember. But anyway, I was like over it and ready to go. And I'd been listening to your podcast, like even before I started my own business, I was listening to your podcast and then decided to just go for it because I wanted to just go all in.
I feel like I remember coaching you from a lot of like parking lots in your car because you were still working for somebody else and like starting your business.
Yeah. So I was working still 32 hours for another company and then would bring my table in. She was really generous and let me like use one of her treatment rooms. So I'd bring my table in like on Saturday mornings or Tuesday evenings was my night. So it ended up being just like adding like 2 nights a week and then Saturdays. And then somebody I'd worked with had like an office space that I could sublease. So I started to sublease and the hours were not like great. I mean, it was a lot of work, but I just was kind of burned out from that. And so I decided that I was just going to give you a try and see where it went.
Yeah. So I wonder if you could give people kind of a full picture of your life at that time. So you were doing 32 hours of contracting work, like trying to work your business as well. I mean, how many kids do you have? How old are your kids? Like, what did that really look? Yeah. What was the full picture of your life when you were doing all of that?
Yeah. So I have 2 kiddos. At that time, they were ages 6 and 8. Now they're 7 and 9, or maybe they were even younger, 5 and 7.
It's a blur.
Yeah. Here we are 2 years later. And so even before that, the whole transition, I was working in a school district and I was the only OT running everywhere. And I had left that in the middle of the year. I broke my contract and had to pay a decent amount of money to get out because I was just so done. And that was hard, but started with another clinic in town. The owner was really wonderful and knew from the beginning that I was going to try something on my own. So I'd work 4 days a week there, 32 hours, and then get my kids from school, go home, feed them dinner. And then I would have clients from like 6 to 9 p.m., 2 nights of the week. And then every Saturday morning for like, I think I would take like 2 or 3 clients every Saturday. And I remember when I started coaching with you, like, I think Saturdays were the one thing that I just like stopped doing because I remember talking about how build your schedule around what you wanted. I will say, like, what kept me going was my own business, the MFR, because it was so fulfilling to me and I was excited to see those clients. But yeah, it was exhausting to do all of that.
What do you think was the vision you were holding that finally got you to go from, or that created the safety for you to take the leap to stop doing the contracting and to go full time into your MFR business? Like, was there just like one moment in time where you're like, enough is enough, I can do this? Or like, what created that belief
Yeah.
for you that it would be okay?
I just started to like fill up those spots and more people kept calling. And I'm like, I think it was like I'm holding myself back because if I don't have the openings, people can't come. For me, it was more like a financial thing too. Like my husband and I wanted to be financially secure. I still wanted to be able to pay myself consistently.
Hmm.
And so in my head, I kept thinking if I can just get this many clients, I'll be able to pay myself. And then so I kind of like gradually let go of the other job and just kept, as I would discharge clients there, I just kept kind of decreasing my hours, which luckily I had a boss that let me do that.
Yeah.
But I think there was just a point where I was just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It just like intuition, whatever it was, I just like felt this like strong need to just go and just do it.
Yeah. Kind of do a trust fall and let it work out. Right.
Yeah. I think I
I
was just
think we
over
might
it.
have had a conversation too about how much it was costing you to stay there and to
Yeah.
wait, like to wait for this slow discharge of clients
Yeah.
to
Well, then I
allow
started to
you.
calculate it out. Yeah. Like what I could be making.
Mhm.
And when I look back, it's like, why did I wait so long? Because I ended up being able to make more than I would have hourly at the other clinic. And their pay rates were kind of weird and tricky anyway.
Yeah.
And also the productivity standards. Like I was working less and making more money and actually really enjoying what I was doing.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a little bit because I think there is this idea that a contract position or a 9 to 5 job, if you're a W-2 employee or whatever, that is the ultimate safety net. And so it's easy to trick ourselves into being like, well, this is safe because I don't know what makes it safe. Is it like the quote unquote guaranteed paycheck, even though you could be fired at any moment, or they could reduce
Right.
your rates, or they could require all these other things? But that idea that we can't create our own safety or we don't know how to, how has that changed for you over time?
Well, we've talked a lot about this too, but like building my own schedule up and now I'm booked out like 3 to 4 months at a time. I remember you saying, like, I've basically created like this safety net for months to come. Like, I don't have to worry about, I can't remember how you said it, but it was like, I basically like created a business that runs itself and I'm just there to go to, I show up to work now. Like, my company is basically running it.
Yeah, you've created the demand, you've
Yeah.
created the reoccurring revenue, like people are going to come. And like if someone, you're no longer like dependent on if someone cancels or comes or not because you have so much
Yeah.
demand. You just call somebody and they come.
Yeah. Yeah. Like within 30 seconds, it's filled if I want it to be, but I get to choose. So I don't remember what your question was, something about the safety.
Yeah, like the safety between what thought was it or what was it that finally created the safety for you to be all in your business and to say goodbye? I know like it felt like it was gradual, but there was a day where you were like, and then today is my last day. And I hope I like if I could go back and like read your reports when you were turning them
Yeah.
in.
I think it was just I felt like I was being held back. And I remember too, like at that time we had gone to I had finally like made the jump to raise my rates too. And so that was part of it, which I've raised them again since then even. But I think that was it too, was like now I'm gonna raise my rates and I'm gonna be fine. And I was just ready to take control of my own life, I guess, and my
Yeah.
own career.
And go
And
forth.
I knew that if I didn't do it now, then when was I ever going to get there? And I kind of
Yeah.
was just sick of like Saturdays and Tuesday nights and Friday half days. And I wanted to be with my kids more. And I was missing out on all their stuff at school and those things too.
Yeah. So we're recording this in June of 2026. When this comes out, I think in October, you'll have a different schedule then. But what are you able to enjoy this summer for maybe like the first summer ever that is a reflection of what you've built and what your values are as showing up as a mom? Like, what's your summer like?
Yeah. When I worked in a school, I had summers off, which I thought would be great. But then I always had the Sunday scaries like all the time. So for me, it was more like I thrive on more of a consistent schedule.
Yeah.
And so I still like to work a little bit, but I take more time off in the summer. So I've decreased by, I think, 4 or 5 clients a week. So I work 3 days a week, but it's, seeing 4, sometimes 5 clients a day. So it's not
Yeah.
bad at all. I'm home 2 full days with my kids. We're able to travel. We've got some vacations lined up. I can book my own time off ahead of time. I've got people booking out into the fall. So I feel good about when my kids go back to school. It's just like there's peace of mind and I get to enjoy time with my kids. And then there's a different fun challenge of like, now how do we navigate being so busy and where to fit clients in?
Hmm.
Kind
Yeah.
of my next level of coaching, I think, with you where I go with that. But yeah, I think just like enjoying the time with my kids and planning trips and like not having to request time off or not having to like save up my vacation time. Also, my husband has a busy career. And so if our nanny, like last week, our nanny was gone. And so I was able to schedule one day. And then I blocked off that time and I could take care of my own kids without having to ask permission and
Yeah.
just do it. So that was fun.
It's such a flex to be really in control of your life and not have to ask anyone else for permission, which I think is
Freedom.
yeah, it's the freedom and it's one of the best benefits for being in business for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like I can take time off. And I think based on calculating your rate the way we calculate rates, you can afford to have that time off. Like you can afford to see the 15 people a week
Yes.
in the summer, or even I feel like that number was a lot less.
I see
11.
11
Okay.
in the summer. Yep.
Okay.
And then it was 15 during the school year, but I'm going down. We talked about what would your summer schedule? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
We've
you're
been
right.
trying to expand your nervous system around what does
Yeah.
it look like if 11 really is your fully booked number and that doesn't decrease the amount of income that you want to make.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of fascinating to walk through that. Tell me what that's been like in your brain to consider that that's an okay place to be and that doesn't make you less successful seeing 11 people.
Yeah. I think I made it okay to settle at 12 instead of
Okay.
11.
Yep.
But if I'm at 11, I'm okay. It actually like feels exciting and freeing and like I'm not going to be so flustered all the time trying to like run everywhere and, take care of home life, take care of my kids, take care of a business, take care of clients. And I'm also super duper excited because I think it's going to give me some more time to I have like all these ideas in my head of things that I want to do to get out there and help more people. And so it's allowed me to kind of collaborate with some other professionals and we have some cool ideas coming up. And then also be able to maybe be more creative with some different workshops and things like that I eventually want to do. But I think this is going to help me kind of free up that time
Yeah.
or just like reschedule my time to do those things that I wanted to do that I was just kind of never really having the time to do.
Yeah. I wonder what the compounding effect of for your kids will be of having a mom that's less discombobulated. Let's face it, we're all going to have
Yeah.
our moments.
Yeah.
But like just over time, being there, being more calm, being more relaxed, being more in control of your schedule, how they get to experience you. I was
Yes.
just thinking this for my own kids, like how crazy I was when I was running my business. And then the shift from when I like learned coaching and became a coach, how crazy I was in the beginning of that. And then to who I am now, just from
Yeah.
working on my nervous system and working on my thoughts about everything going on.
Thoughts are huge. Yeah. I think that's like what you've really helped me with. One, the mindset worked and all of that and the belief work was like huge for me. But yeah, like I think about even when school starts, my husband and I always had to like split days. Okay, you do drop off this day and I'll do pick up this day, or I have a meeting later, whatever. And now it's like I get to bring my kids to school every morning. They're not rushed out the door because I've set up my schedule to give myself time to go
Yeah.
in a little later when I need to. You really like helped me realize like build my schedule around my life and my family versus trying to accommodate every single person that could be a potential client.
Yeah. It just ends up, you get to show up so much better for your kids, for yourself, for your clients when you
Yeah.
build your schedule that way. And there's so much less resentment. I mean, we're still going to have resentment because whatever.
Yeah.
Things
We're
don't go
human.
perfectly ever. But
Yeah.
I do think when we start the day out with like, this is my intended schedule and like, this is how I've set myself up, by the time we get to work, like we've worked it out and we're feeling much better.
That was huge for me too. Like you helped me realize, have like certain openings. Like I would kind of be like, okay, well, I could get you in between this time and this, and like leave it up to the client to kind of decide. And I remember like you talk a lot about giving choices so it's not overwhelming for them or me. And like that helped me structure my routine a lot better because I like routine and just not being so confused about what to expect. Just having that system in place has been really helpful.
Yeah. I think that's good advice for anyone listening to. It's like just look at what you have going on and make it less options. And I think people think less options equals being very rigid, but it actually gives you much more freedom when you have like a 10, an
Yeah.
11, 15,
Yeah.
and then you can make sure you get lunch or you can make sure you have a break in the day. But if you
Yeah.
take a client and they're like they have every 15 minutes to choose from 8 in the morning till 9 p.m.,
It's overwhelming.
your schedule is going to be a mess. It's just
Yeah.
going to be a mess. Yeah. And to no end, like clients don't really want that many choices. That's hard for them to make a choice and a decision too. And
Yeah.
they're like, which one is right?
Sometimes they'll say that, they're like, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And I think like from the back end of a business part too, just like having that routine in your head. So when somebody does ask you, what do you have open? You're like, well, I know I do, I have a 10:30 or a noon. You just kind of like have that in your mind. And also people book what you have open because they want to come see you.
Exactly. Same way as like all 100% of your clients are going to pay your rate too.
Yeah, I've learned that. Thank you.
Oh my
Believe it,
God.
it works.
So you mentioned in the beginning that you were kind of cobbling things together. You had paid for a couple of programs. What is the difference between cobbling things together and being in a program like mine? What do you think was the biggest difference?
I think like, well, clarity, just like one place to go, and you just kind of have it set up from beginning to, growth. And then the other thing for me as an occupational therapist was having a community that does MFR or body work because it is a niche, it is a different kind of like a specialty area. And so a lot of like the world I was in therapy, like, cash based therapists or whatever, out of network therapists, they were speaking kind of the same language, but like just in a totally different way. And so for me, I wanted a community that was doing the MFR and the body work and the hands on therapy that I was doing because I needed people to understand what I was doing. And so I will say that you have built a community that, for one, is like super duper positive and uplifting for people, which I have not experienced always. And so it's just like a safe space where nobody's judging anybody and everyone is able to get the information they need to build their business and to be successful, the support from you, but then also just like everyone's in the same boat here and we're all just like wanting everyone to be successful. So I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest thing is just like the community that you've created of like people that get what we do because it's kind of different and the belief in everyone
Hmm.
in one
Yeah.
space.
I think too, many people have been part of this community since I started, or,
Yeah.
or they've come and they've been here long term. And so people expect to see everybody win. Like the
Yeah.
expectation is that everybody in here is going to get to the fully booked mark. And it really just depends on, are you showing up? Are you asking questions? Are you fighting for yourself? Are you being vulnerable? Are you letting people know you're struggling? And the more you decide to engage, or, you can engage behind the scenes too. No one really has to see that engagement, but
Yeah.
it shows up in the results. And sometimes it's just coming into the community and having the community support. Sometimes it's the thought work, sometimes it's the belief work, sometimes it's the module on setting your rates or whatever
Yeah.
it is. But I think there's so many places to have little quick wins in the program that it helps you keep going. And also, I think having that expectation that everyone here has the ability to be successful. It's not because you live in a big town, it's not because your clients know more about whatever modality you're doing. You live in South Dakota. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what it's like doing a niche service in South Dakota?
I mean, it's really awesome now. But
But did
like
you
there
have that
wasn't,
fear? Like, I'm not in a big enough community. Like, I'm not gonna be able to
yeah,
sustain
like I
this.
think it was like people have no idea what I'm doing. Do I
Yeah, they
even know what
don't
I'm
need
doing?
to.
Right. Um, But it's like once you start to learn, like I remember you saying, like, you guys are all great therapists, but like owning a business is, we all kind of suck at that sometimes. And so I think when I started to learn like how to be visible and get out there and network with people and just going out and doing the things, it's been awesome. It does take work. And I think also like the advice you give and this community gives on like how to sell yourself and how to sell MFR and how to talk about it to people so they understand what we're doing has been great. But yeah, like I don't even know. Like once you start to get out there and you collaborate with people, you just find your people will find you, and you're just going to blow up. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is learning the difference between being a really good therapist and being a really good business owner. And it's two different skill sets. So
Yeah.
there are so many really good, talented therapists out there that have terrible businesses. They're suffering immensely. They're way overworking. They're way overgiving. So maybe they feel good because they're working so hard. Like maybe they're seeing a lot of people, but they're not making any money. They're not making any profit. And eventually they're going to burn out.
Yeah.
Or they're really, really good, but no one can find them. They're the best kept secret in their town. And people fall into that being a good thing. So it's lack of visibility, it's lack of skill set in the business realm. And these skills are so easily learnable and accessible to everyone. Like it doesn't matter if you have a degree, it doesn't matter what your background is. I feel like the business skill set that I teach in my program are accessible to everybody,
Oh,
regardless of
for
where they
sure.
live, da 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 da.
Yeah. I've given some of my friends that do like they're in different careers doing their own businesses. And we've talked about things. And they're like, well, how did you know that? And I was like, I have an awesome business coach. Like this, she kicks my butt on this stuff. And so thank you. But like, seriously. And then they're like, oh my gosh, like I never even thought of it that way. Or like, it's just, you have everything in it
Mhm.
that's helpful, from the beliefs to systems to growth to money to rates to all the things.
Yeah. Everything you need to get and stay fully booked, I believe.
Yeah.
Is there one module or one training, one concept that has been like something that you really grab onto a lot or that was really eye-opening for you?
Hmm.
Like, was it how we set rates or just like
Well, I
how
will say, yeah, the
circumstances are
rate,
neutral?
yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually. So a couple things. Rates, your rate calculator is like really helpful and eye-opening. And also for me, it was the belief, like your belief work is huge because I just wanted to believe, I just need to believe in myself in this community and what I'm doing. And I can't remember what did you just say before that? There was something that you always used to say that I say it all the time. Oh,
Oh,
the drama in your head.
yeah.
I say that all the time, like in my everyday life, like not even just business stuff. What is drama versus facts in
Yeah.
like your circumstances and how you have that model?
Yeah.
All the time, I'll be thinking something. I'm like, Shauna, that's just drama in your head. Like, what are the facts? And then I can
Yeah.
get through it.
Yeah. Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing?
I don't know why that was
Well, that
stuck with
changed
me.
my life, like learning that when Tavana taught me that, my first coach, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was really suffering. I was having terrible relationships with my in-laws. I was having terrible relationships with my parents. I couldn't get along with anyone. And I thought I was just at the mercy of them all changing. And then I learned
Yeah.
the model and I was like, oh my gosh, nobody else has to change. Like I can just change my thoughts about this.
Yeah.
It was very freeing.
Yeah. Such an emotional person. And it's like, but what are the facts? Like, I like how we can be spiraling about something because we all do. And then like, okay, like that's fine to feel that way, but like
Mhm.
what's
I'm
behind
like,
that?
I love your story, but what are the
Yeah.
facts? Right.
Right. Like let's
Yeah.
get down to business now.
Yeah.
So that kind of belief work there. And then yeah, the rate calculator has been huge for me because I don't think people realize like when you're figuring out your rates, again, like it's based on facts. And I was like in the comparison mode, like had to do like market analysis and see what everybody else was doing. And I remember you telling me to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Knock it
Because you're
off.
like, well, such and such is like
Yeah.
more talented than me.
Yeah.
That's not a fact.
Quote
And
unquote.
is charging way less. And I'm like, we don't know how they made that business decision. And they're probably making it the same way you're trying to do it, like out of comfort, out of like trying to decide what people can afford, what other people are charging, and then just add $5. Like That is the surefire way to under earn and to burn
Yeah.
out and to never make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was helpful to kind of look at everything, and even like how you include vacation time in there. Like, I mean, you're doing it all to figure out your rate. Cause I think that's, I mean, I sat down with my mom who they had a successful business. She was HR, their accounting person. And she even is like, I showed her your model and she's like, this is great. Use this. This is great. You know, like, cause she was like, how did you figure out your rates and how did you do this and whatever? Cause she's coming from a different business world.
Yeah.
And she's like, that has to be hard. You're kind of like working on sales and commission and, you know, that type of thing. And then I showed her how we calculate it all out. And she's like, that's great. Use that. That's awesome. And then when we calculated out, my rate was darn near pretty close to what we had figured it out. She's like, well, that worked for you. And I was like, yeah, thanks, mom.
Yeah. I
Thanks,
love
Heather.
it. Well, I think our moms or like even our spouses, like people watching us, our partners can be kind of afraid of these rates that are being set or the decisions that we're making because it can kind of happen at a fast clip. And you can go from like really in despair about your business to really excited about it and making money very quickly, especially when you follow these methods and the frameworks. I remember like my mom, when I decided to go from my hands-on business to the coaching business, she was like, what are you doing? You're just going to like throw that all away. You're so successful, you know? And I was like, mom, like I'm going to be successful, whatever I do. And like, I'm sorry you're having a hard time with this, but like, watch me do this. And I feel like a lot of people come into coaching and they're going to leave like a very prestigious hospital job or whatever their label is. They're known for deep tissue. And now they're going to do a niche of MFR or something else. And everybody around them is afraid. And if they can't get their mindset right, they're going to be afraid too. But most of the time, we get the mindset right and they're like, watch me do this. And they go. It's
Yep.
pretty fun to
Yeah.
watch.
That's pretty much what happened here.
Yeah. Did you have any people that were like, hey, Shauna, you really need to be a little more careful? Like, what are you thinking right now? Or what were some of like the people close to you worried about?
Honestly, like I love my husband, but he's in IT. So he's like very facts and data. And he has worked in corporate his whole life, like the corporate world. And so he was excited and believed that I could do it, but it was like the numbers and how are we going to get to what we need you to pay us, or when are you going to get paid what you used to get paid, or how are you going to just, you know, and then I think it's like you're decreasing your hours, but you're going to make more was like a huge shift for him to understand.
Yeah.
And so I think that was kind of like one of my biggest people that was like cheering me on, but also like, what the hell are you doing? And then, yeah, I just had some really good friends that were cheering me on. I mean, most everybody was pretty supportive. I remember my dad saying like, again, he had a business and he was like, I mean, I always believed in you, but like I had some doubt. I'm just amazed at how much money you're making or, you know, how you brought in a profit like year one, you just did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, thanks. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well,
So
it's like against societal norms to work less and make more money.
yeah. But I think people think you have to like take out these huge business loans, which I didn't take out any business loans at all. I just did it and just started making money right away.
No, I don't know of anyone in my programs where I would ever encourage them to take out. There's no need to take out a loan.
Yeah, I'm like, I have like a treatment tape. I mean, there's not a lot of expense to what we do.
There's not.
To me, it was more like the continuing ed and the seminars and all of that is where I put my investments in. But yeah, I think some people think like you're going to go into debt and then you got to spend years getting out of it. And that's just not the case with how this program is set up. So
Yeah. Was it a hard leap to go from like spending money on seminars and continuing education to heavily investing in your business, like on the coaching end of things?
no, because you made me excel. It was like my invest. I think I got like, I don't even remember what the return on investment was, but like within like the first few months, I got this email saying, you have now, you know, you guys like send an email saying like, you have now got your return based off of what you paid. And it was like 2 months or something. So no, it wasn't hard for me at all because I needed to grow my business. I knew I had the skills and I can do this work. I need someone to help me figure out how the heck to run a business.
Yeah.
And I will say like, my husband, who I love dearly, who was kind of the skeptic from the beginning, when I just signed up for my last round of, or my next round of coaching with you, he was like, well, yeah, I think that you definitely have to keep going with her because you've gotten this far and you'll probably need her for at least another couple years. And I was like, wow,
I
look at
like
you.
him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is nice
So
when
now
you
he's your
have
biggest fan.
I love that. Shauna said hi. I love it though when you can get the buy-in from someone who you want to share that investment with. Like you want to be like, hey, I just made, because if we're talking about you rejoining the mastermind, you've done one round
Yeah.
and now you're back for round two. And it's a chunk of change, right?
Yeah.
And so to be able to say, like, hey, I just put this much money into my business and have someone celebrate that instead of be freaked out is very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
I just made a big investment in my business, a $25,000 investment. And I'm planning to like make even more because I am making it my like goal in the next 12 months to basically get a PhD in sales and improve my
Awesome.
sales skills. And I think of myself as a sales coach. So I think it's very fun and fascinating to figure out like, hey, you just don't know what you don't know. And
Yeah.
it's like fun to learn new things. And also this feels like a skill that I really want to lock in on and hone in on anymore, even more. So I love saying out loud how much I invested. I always like to be kind of a role model for everybody that's in coaching, that's in my programs, that I go first. So I'm not going to expect people to invest $3,000 with me or $10,000 with me or $12,000 with me if I'm not willing to double, triple, quadruple that. And there's been years where I've spent $100,000 on coaching in a year. And every time I do that, I look for a 5 times return on investment.
Yeah.
And I think everybody that invests in coaching, whether it's with me or someone else, shouldn't do it to just make $3,000 back. Like you should be trying to make way more than that. And if you invest 3,000 and then you have a 6-figure business, I don't know, what is the math on that?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
That's
It's awesome.
ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, so like to anybody that's listening, like you'll probably at least double or triple that in a
Yeah,
month's time. I mean, that's the thing is like you spend $10,000 on coaching and you're coaching people that have at least $10,000 months, if not more,
right.
so you'll get there. I also was thinking, as you said, this is funny. You said about how you invest in yourself too, and you show people like through your own coaching. I was thinking about you this morning, and like that's one thing that I really like appreciate about you and noticed when I was considering signing up with you is that you talked a lot about like your own coach that coaches you and your own growth and learning. And so I think like as professionals, it's really important. Like we're expected to continue to grow for our clients, and you're doing the same thing for us. And so I don't know that all coaches out there are doing that. Maybe I would hope, but I just appreciate that you are investing in your own learning to then help us too.
Yeah, and it's fun because then I can translate what I learn into skills that will help you guys even more because I can only tell you what I know.
Yeah.
And I just don't know it all. I used to think I knew it all. Like that was a limiting belief I had. I thought that was a good thought to have, but I think a better thought for me is I don't know it all. And I am super curious. I'm open to learning and hearing from multiple voices. It doesn't have to be the same person. And my latest coach said something about like chewing the meat. Like if you're eating like chicken, like chicken off the bone or whatever, like you chew the meat, you take what works for you and you leave the bones. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's very useful. It's like you don't have to have any judgment about it. You just take what's useful and you leave everything else behind and you don't need things to be perfect in order to get a return on investment. I'm like, because there's lots of times where I'm like, oh, I'm not super in alignment with that person or all of that person's values, but these 3 things they say are very helpful. So I'm going to take
Yeah.
those 3 things and I'm going to run with it and I'm going to leave everything else behind.
Yeah. You got to
Not
do
get
what works for you.
tangled. Yeah, and not get all tangled up in it. So
Yeah, for
helpful.
sure. It's not all or nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, if you were to give business advice to someone who's listening to the podcast, maybe they're like you were when you started. You hadn't started your business yet. You're just thinking about it. You're like, I'm not doing it. I'm just thinking about it. What would you say to them would be the top 3 things to take action on?
Number one would be don't wait to get the help if you need the help. Like people are out there in your corner, find them and invest in it. Number two would be visible. As hard as that is, sometimes like people want to connect with you, and the more they see you and the more they feel that you're their person, they're going to come to you. And the third one would be just to believe in yourself and know that you can do this. I came from not really knowing what this is and just really being inspired by it and learning it and getting good at it. And I think just, yeah, believe in yourself and you can do it. If you want it, you're going to get there.
I love it. Would you be willing to share some of your numbers with us?
Okay, so before I started with you,
Mm-hmm.
my first 10 months, so like basically March 2024 to December 2024, was 15,535.
Okay.
So then when I started coaching with you in December 2024 to December 2025, the income was 79,925.
Wow. It's a big
Yeah.
jump, almost $80,000.
This is the first time I've looked at that and that makes me want to kind of cry. That's awesome.
Oh, what's coming up when you see that?
Well, that was hard work and holy shit, look at that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Why? And then also like, what the hell did I wait so long for?
I mean, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
Yeah. You did it then, and that's going to be good enough. You're going to get the compounding effect of it, like
Yep.
for always. Yeah.
Okay. And then from then till today, you want to know?
Yeah. So you've just so people have a clear picture, you did a year in foundations and then you joined the mastermind. And so these would be numbers like during mastermind.
Yep. Because I started Mastermind last summer.
You started January 2026.
Okay. So January 1st. So since then, it's been 41,220 to today.
Okay. So in 6 months.
Yeah. And that's with, a seminar and some vacation built in there. And
Okay. So if we added all of your coaching together, so that'd be the 79,925 and the 41,220. That's $121,145.
that's awesome.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. And I've been with you for what? A little over a year.
Yeah, about 18 months.
Wow. Part of that, I was still working part time.
Yeah, a lot of it you were working part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and then I just raised my rates again.
which is really exciting to see what's next. And now the mastermind's a year and we start in September.
I'm excited.
And I'm just like very excited to see where your numbers go. And the other thing is like the luxury of working less, earning more, and like who you become, who you continue to be as a community member, as a mom, as a spouse, as an OT, how you're able to just show up in all of those roles rested and digested instead of in fight or flight at all times.
Yeah.
The money is like one picture of this, but like who you get to experience your life as is the
Yeah.
other really big piece. And that's almost more important than the money. Like the money lets us do things, but we want to be like healthy and we want to be like part of the experience and not just like time whizzing by us because it goes by so fast anyway. Like we want to be a participating member in the time
Yeah.
that's going by.
I think that's like the thing is like, I just love what I do. And the money has never really mattered to me in a weird way, if that sounds weird.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't have to be the driving factor.
yeah, but that's why I like having a business coach is because it does matter because you have to be able to pay your bills,
Mm-hmm.
but we can still love what we do and pay the bills. And I
Yeah.
think that would be my other piece of advice too is like, don't be afraid to raise your rates and go because the calculator might show you something and it might surprise you and you're going to be okay. And I did mine in steps and it probably would have been fine if I just skipped the steps and just did it.
Yeah. It's okay. But there's like options. No one is saying, hey, you
Right.
better like find this rate and then go and do it. And if you don't do it right off the bat, like you're going to be ostracized or not coached,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. You get to be whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
then you just kind of know your facts.
Mm-hmm. So good. Okay. Well, I'm excited to continue to watch your journey. We'll have to do an update maybe in a year. We'll see if
Yeah.
I can lock you down.
Kidnap me again. Fine.
To show up at your house with my microphone.
Hey, that could be fun though.
Hey, that could be fun. Maybe we'll make that happen. You're not that
Yeah.
far away from me. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. I love that for us.
Well, thank you for tracking me down.
Yeah. Can you tell everybody where we can find you? Because I'm sure people are going to want to look you up and see how they can get an appointment with you or refer to you.
Yeah. So my website is therootedot.com.
Okay.
Okay. So you can find me on Instagram at the.rooted.ot.
Okay.
And then on Facebook, I am Rooted Myofascial Release and Occupational Therapy, or it might be
Okay.
Rooted Occupational Therapy and Myofascial Release.
Okay. Or they could just find you by your name, Shauna Fox Hamilton.
Yep. Or just go on my website and all those little links are right on there.
That's the easiest way to find it is by going to therootedot.com.
Yes.
I love it. Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here today. I think it's fun to have members on, just especially, if you've been a longtime listener, can you imagine back to when you were just listening to the podcast and now you're on it? Like, what are your thoughts about that? That's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's what got me doing this, Heather. Like listening to you and all these stories of you can do this and hearing everybody else's like journey, and I wouldn't be here without that. So thank you guys. It's pretty cool to be able to motivate other people and just let everyone know that you can totally do this.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your story. It's really important. And I think it's so nice. Someone's driving in their car right now, listening to you, and they're like, oh, I'm an OT. Like I didn't know this was possible for me.
Yeah. Listen, we need more of you. Okay. So
Yeah.
come do it.
We need all the OTs. We need all of the hands-on therapists. If we could just collectively get in the van, let's go together. Let's go do this.
I mean, we're really cool people. Come hang out with us.
That's right. And we're literally we are disrupting the hands-on therapy industry by charging rates the way we're charging them, by running businesses in this way instead of how you should be doing it or whatever the industry standard is. We are causing commotion, and I'm here for it. I'm a commotion causer.
And I'm telling you, this complements your traditional therapy approaches so much. Your clients will make so much awesome progress with it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Perfect. Love it
All
so
the
much.
things.
All the things. All right. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Fully Booked Therapist podcast. I will see you next week on another episode. Bye for now. Thanks for spending this time with me today. If you're a hands-on therapist who is ready to get fully booked and build a practice that actually pays you, I want to help you do that. Head over to heatherhummel.com to find out how we can work together. And if you loved this episode, please share it with someone who needs it. See you next week.